What's up guys, Vilisink, welcome back to another raid video. And in this video we're going to fuse one of the epics in the Hurndig fusion. And then we're going to go over the kit as to why I'm fusing this champion. Gore, don't feel a huge need. Siege Hulk, I think I'm fine, but the one I'm going for is Skathix. Now there is an event, I believe it's a summon event, which is 3,000 points, 3,500 points to get him. But I did say I wasn't going for Hurndig to start with. We'll go to the index, as it's okay to miss out a fusion now and again. Don't have to do them all. I'm not sure. Resources, I mean I could have done it, but like I said, don't feel bad if you miss one fusion, especially if you can't get the epics. Like if you can get this dude from the summon fusion, because you do not have him, you should. Pretty cool aesthetic. He's got a fish around the neck, a couple on the basket, and he has, I know what that tool's called, but I cannot remember. Gap? It's for a big fish anyway, but Skathix, lizardman. He's a support champion. And he's something that the lizardmen do not really have. It's a reviver, gives himself cool buffs, and it's something that's really missing, and something that could help a lot of people when it comes to faction wars or in general. Depending where they get this champion, he can help them just progress in any dungeon really, because of how he's kitted out. So A1 attacks one enemy. It's called leg rack. 50% chance when booked of placing decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. On A1s, if I get decreased speed, I quite like it. It is single target, but it's going to slow an enemy down to a certain point. So decreased speed is really good on an A1. Part of his kit, I think it works well with his kit, and we can go over that soon. Transfer Rush is his A2 AoE, booked to 100% chance on a 3-turn cooldown. He will steal one random buff from each enemy. So if you take him into faction wars, he's going to be fantastic. We may get a Valk wave. If we're in Doom Tower, we may get Sifi waves. We get all this waves where they're just constantly buffing up. Skathix will bring that ability of stripping some of them. Now, even unbooked, 75% chance is still pretty good for an epic, but it's 5 books to get it to 100% chance. That'll help you out tremendously. You can steal a shield, attack up, block damage, flank damage, makes no difference. It's a really good move. And let's go to the A3. It's quite hot here now. I should have left the window open. The UK is incredibly hot at the moment, or humid. It's not even too hot, it's just there's a hidden heat somewhere. It's quite remarkable. So A3 Scales of the Ages, booked at a 4-turn cooldown, and this is why I wanted the champion. He removes all debuffs from all allies and places a block, debuffs buff and a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns. The shield buff is equal to 20% of this champion's max HP. So straight away we've got the cleanse on all allies. They then get block debuffs, which is massive. Doom Tower, Dungeon Waves, it's just massive. Yeah, the shield for all allies, also 2 turns, and that's 20% of his health. So if you can get 100k HP, 20% of that, 20,000. So the shield can you can make him really high HP, quite tanky with some resistance. You will need accuracy though for the A2, The A3 was one of the reasons why I wanted to get him. Plus, he just aesthetically, he looks pretty badass. So he cleanses, puts up block buffs, gives us a big ass shield. He can steal enemies, buffs. In an AoE attack, he can use decreased speed, which will slow someone down, stop them taking a turn in a dungeon or a Doom Tower wave, enabling him or someone else to cut in. The passive is also something that I thought I've got to have this. It's called Last Gasp. 6 turn cooldown. So I'm not going to say it's good or bad, but it's a 6 turn cooldown and it places a block damage buff on himself for a turn whenever his HP drops below 30%. So basically he's unkillable. He gets hit really hard, his HP will drop below 30, block damage goes on, you can't damage him. You're going to have other champions healing, other champions buffing, debuffing, doing whatever. This keeps this champion completely and utterly safe. It is a very strong debuff and he's the only lizardman, but maybe the only champion. Like, champions have unkillable, like Skull Crown, and then there's Durang, or is it Basilisk, who revives with block damage. So I think Skathix is in a league of his own as far as it going on, because his HP's hit a certain point. That makes him just unkillable, just really good. And to have the kit he does, having him stay alive longer, it's just fantastic. Increases ally resist in all battles by 40. It's neither here nor there, it's just an epic champion's aura. Realistically, 40 is, we can make 40 up, it's no big deal. It's good that he's getting resistance because you will want him to not be debuffed as often, as well as having accuracy to potentially steal buffs. But if you don't want to use him for this move, and it's purely just you want to make him fast so we can continually cleanse, you can do that also. So that's our scarf. We've been over the aura. So yeah guys, of all champions, Skathix is a good champion that should not be overlooked. If you've done the Hurndig fusion, you also have the option to summon this guy or get this guy from the summon event. So if you have enough shards, keeping in mind we've had the Helior event at 10x, we'll have this fusion going on. And if you have the spare resources, I'd recommend picking up this champion 1,000,000%. I have got the 2 that I was going to get from this fusion. I don't mind missing one out. It's labour intensive, resource intensive, and as good as Hurndig is, there's always RNG getting from a shard. I'd much rather have this champion rather than get Skathix to 50, fully ascended him with the rest of the other epics, which are really good, and sacrifice them, which makes no sense. Come on, Palladium. It makes no sense, it's stupid. We've got champions in the vault, use some of them in a fusion, so when these new champions come out, we don't need to sacrifice them. People are going to have to make the choice, go for a Hurndig, or do I go for 3 epics that will help my account progress way faster, way easier, and with it costing less resources. But guys, we have Skathix, the lizardman. I'm excited, I'm happy. I now don't really, as far as the fusion goes, there is 2 left, but I don't see myself really wasting any more time on this. I don't see myself getting Siege Hulk or Gory. I got the Hippo, I got Skathix, that for Lizardman Faction Wars also is going to be an absolute beast. Make him quick enough, tanky enough, give him the stats he needs, and nothing else. He will stay alive, he will help support your team, and I'm super stoked. So we got a whole for these. We now have Skathix, and guys, I mean, you can go for the legendary, But remember, sometimes the epics are just as good, if not better, for where your account is and the type of progression that you're going to need. So I think we're going to cut it there. To show out, just wanted to summon him, give you guys advice on him, tell you about his kit. But actually, silly enough, I need to check one more thing for this champion because I'm being stupid. He has, look at the base stats, we did miss this, so we'll just go over it quickly. 165 HP. Support champion is decent, it can be worked on. Attack 1035. Neither here nor there. Defense 1057. That's not too bad, it's over 1000. And anything over 1000 I feel like when you add the 5-6 star pieces it kinda makes it worth it. It gives you a good round number to work from. 95 speed. Not too fast, not too slow, kinda where I thought it would be, so happy with that. Crit rate, crit damage 15 and 50, neither here nor there. Resistance begins at 30, so with the aura you have 70. And he begins with 15 accuracy, which is a good start. You then have your Great Hall and all these other things to get that stats from. So overall, he looks good, his stats are good. I believe he is one of the best lizardmen to come out in a long time. And he's going to do a lot of work for me. Guys, cutting it there this time, went over the stats. Summon who you want, but do not forget, the epics are just as good in this fusion. Most fusions, the epics are just as good. So do what your account requires. What type of progression do you need? What type of champion you're looking for? Because sometimes, if you set him out, you can find yourself a treasure. Alright guys, keep on raiding. I love you all. I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe.